This is the beginning of the end. This is um this is the end. So I'm not so like I said, for all you've done, don't worry about it. I'm finna get it in with this prophecy being passed. With this prophecy coming to pass, I'm gonna get all the payback that I need. So you don't got to worry about me begging for money or begging for that amount of money anymore. That $705 million, you can keep that now. You can keep that now. You're not going to hear anything about it anymore because all you're doing is stretching it out to be some type of movie or some type of game. This is not a movie. This is not going to be cast as a movie. In fact, when this is all over, there will be nothing left. There will be no one doing anything else. You won't be able to make movies. There is no future. This country is going to become indeed a ghost country. That's what we're going to, a ghost empty country. There's not going to be people working anymore. There's going to be no functions in your society. I don't know when that will be. And I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be unless the Lord reveals it to me. But make no mistake about it. Mark my words. There is coming a nationwide event. A nationwide event that is going to cover all of America, all of the United States of America. There's a whole. It's going to be a terrible, terrible event. This is the word that that I got. It's going to be a terrible event. Terrible. And it's going to cover the entire United States of America. And I think that based on seeing how things like like the prophecies are released in these contexts, these type of prophecies, I'm gonna say it like that. I think it's based off of something that they've done. All the evil, in other words, that they're doing. And hidden evil, open evil, evil up and down and all around. It is what is causing this to be released. And I don't think that it was a prophecy that was intentional. I mean, or let's put it like this, or faith. It was a prophecy of faith, like something that had to happen. I think that this prophecy is released according to what has happened to the likes of me, people like me, and it's not that they struck a nerve; that they struck their own faith. They didn't cause me to suffer. They didn't cause nothing to happen to me. I'm not necessarily angry. It's just time for people that are doing nothing, accomplishing nothing, doing evil, um, killing their own kids. You can't say you love kids anymore. So see, all of these things had to happen. Now you see, they really don't love their own kids. They're killing them. You look at the news all the time. You see people killing their own kids. So we now, whether you like it or not, we've now entered into a new season of death um, in America. COVID is steady killing people. Um, People are steady pushing people in front of trains. Um, the death is substantial. It's very substantial. It's very stable. The death in this culture is very stable, and the stability of that death has caused this prophecy to be released, because death is now very stable in your country. You're killing your kids, you're killing each other. So now something is born out of that. And that's death upon you who do kill your kids and do kill each other. And it's death upon the humanity that is that has that potential to do that. It's in the hearts of the people, you know. Once you see it so stable as that, like that, the killing of kids, and then that means if it's going on the average so easily, that means that there's people right now that have it in their heart to do that right now. That's an educated assumption. If you have people that's killing their own kids on the average, every week, every month, you hear somebody killing their kids. This means it's safe to say that people have it in, there's people right now that have it in their heart all around us to kill their own kids, to kill family members. It's in their heart now. Now, some people will act on it, and some people may not act on it. They may come very close to it. But all of this gumbo, if you will, of murderous people has caused this prophecy of a terrible event coming on your nation as a whole. Too many kids have died. Look at all the kids that have died. You shouldn't even want to live. Your country shouldn't even want to go on anyway. Look at all these people killing their own family members. So see, it's already an end anyway. Too many kids died already. It's already over. Again, too many children have died at the hands of evil people, and they think they can just do it and it's all good. You had this one man, he killed his ex-girlfriend's 9-year-old daughter as revenge, as how I took it. Obviously the kid didn't do anything. Probably not. So it was an act of revenge. And so when you come to that level of society, and they're substantially, I think that's the word, instead of substantially, they're substantially in evil, a murder, of killing their own kids. And basically, in essence, it's stable death. Death is stabilized in your community. Then comes another flower out of that. Because you're at the point where, as a nation, not you, obviously, not me, obviously, but as a collective community, you have come to the point where you think you can just kill as you please. And that, it's in itself, right there, that part right there, has caused another judgment to come upon you. You did too much of it. You look at each month. Go back and look at the months of this year alone. Start from January and all the way up to now in June. You will see all these deaths of children, family members, just the family unit alone. Death all in the family unit. People killing their own family members from January 1st to now. You go look at all these deaths. Go look at all these deaths just in the family unit. People killing their children like it ain't nothing. People hurting children like it ain't nothing. That means nothing anymore in your community. And so for you who are behind as far as being in touch with what's going on, You may think that this is just here and there and that this is going to subside and it's going to go away. You may feel that it's going to change. It's not, or it's going to not be as bad as it once was. In the future, it's going to be better. No, I'm sorry to tell you. We have now entered into a new season of people killing their own children. That's what I want to emphasize. We've now entered into a season of people killing their own children. It's happening on the average. And when it's happening on the average, this means that it is now a cultural thing. Again, when it is happening on the average, it means it is a cultural thing. It's a cultural practice, if you will. It's a cultural activity if it's happening within a particular society on the average. And now, killing kids is happening on the average. It's safe to say that now. And you people that are behind, you can't keep up. You never can keep up. Or maybe if it's not that you can't keep up, you're in denial. You don't want to hear it. You can't even understand where we are because you haven't been paying attention weeks and weeks and weeks ago. You haven't been paying attention to the news months and months and months ago. So you can't feel the whole picture of this, if you will. You can't feel the whole energy of this because you've been tuning it out. You've been tuning it out. You've been trying to turn a blind eyes to it. You've been trying to turn deaf ears to it. So I can't help you understand where we are right now. The only people that can understand are people that are really like the anchor men on CNN, the anchor women on CNN. I'm pretty sure they will understand why I would say this, why this would happen. Because the evil that's going on in the country on a weekly basis, an everyday basis, these arrogant Americans have come to a point of causing judgment on their own country. This didn't have to happen. However, God can see where the potential is for it to happen, and he knows that this is a possibility. God knows with man free will and all he would choose to do and not do, all the different avenues of what can happen, all the different outcomes of what can happen. And so from all your killings and all you've been doing, this is the outcome you've gotten. You're going to have a terrible event that's going to happen to your entire American country because of your arrogant American ways, which has come up before God as a stench in the nostrils of God. You have taken your American arrogance to an all-time high. And now you think you could, you act as if you're not even human anymore. You act as if you're not even human beings. You have become animals, and rabid animals at that. And you know what people do with rabid animals. They take rabid animals and they put them to sleep. This is what has to happen to you. Enough destruction for you to cease from your activities of evil against humanity. So this event will be terrible enough to cease these evil, murderous, rabid, animal-like people from their activities. They will stop when this happens. There won't be any more gang stalking. There won't be any more all this foolishness that they're doing out here, it won't be none of that witchcraft, psychic stuff, driving around, these psychics and telepaths and witches driving around in their cars trying to cast spells and listening to people's brains as they pass by houses and apartments and places. They won't be able to do any of that anymore. This event will be worse than COVID. It will swallow up COVID. It will swallow up even what monkeypox would do. It will swallow up mass shootings. It will swallow up police shootings. It will swallow up inflation. It's going to, this event is going to be terrible. Not bad, not easygoing. It's going to swallow up COVID-19, monkeypox, the potential of that. I can already tell you, it's going to swallow up everything. Everything is going to be consumed in this terrible event that's going to happen on particularly America alone. Not any other country, not one other country. It's something that is going to happen to this country, a nationwide event, and it's going to consume everything up that you thought was bad and ugly in your country, everything you thought was evil in your country. This, including the gang stalkers, including all of that foolishness that they're doing, it's going to consume all of this. Because it's going to be nationwide. For it to happen and be nationwide as far as impact, it has to be worse than COVID. Well, not necessarily, but it will be. It's going to be nationwide, so that tells you how big it's going to be, the magnitude of what it's going to be. So this is going to happen, and it's going to happen sooner than you think. Now, do I know? Do I know the time frame? I do not know. But I know that it's definitely going to happen. It's going to be a nationwide, terrible event that is going to overshadow everything that is happening right now. And I think the catalyst for this happening is the killings of children, the killings of that people want to deny. They want to deny that these Americans are in a whole different season of murder and destruction. They want to deny it because they still thinking they're going to go back to normal. You're still thinking you're going to go back to 2019. Huh? Here we are 3 years later from normal, what you call normal. Normal would be 2019, right? Last time you've had normal, right? You've had normal how long ago? 3 years ago, right? I don't think normal is coming back. I think that because of your evil that you've done, now you're entering into and are officially in a new season of destruction of each other, of murder, particularly. And you can't go back because besides COVID-19, you as an American community with no one else to blame because you got free will. You can't blame me. You can't blame anyone but yourselves. That's the whole problem. You want someone to blame except yourselves. And unfortunately, this time, you don't have the luxury of blaming me or blaming anyone else. You're going to have to face the music and the facts that with your free will, You have caused this on yourself. You caused it on yourself. No one done it for you. No one did it to you. No one made you kill your own children. No, no, that's foolishness. That's complete gibberish foolishness for you to sit up and act like man that has free will was controlled by some other force to kill their own children. You see how you see how crap brains people have become. That instead of uh, pointing to people using their free will to kill their own children, instead of looking at that simply for what it is, right? Instead of doing that, they want to blame and say someone else made that person kill their own children. Or some force made them kill their own children. In other words, the devil made them do it. Them kind of people. Americans don't become that kind of people. Oh, the devil made them do it. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is you have used your free will to kill your own children. And now, people like me who you've accused of hideous things, now I'm sitting here looking at you. I'm sitting here looking at you because all the stuff you done said, now we look at your community that it came out of. They killing their kids on the average everyday basis now at this point. They killing their kids on a weekly basis, a monthly basis at this point. And it's just a disgrace to a whole nation. It's a stench of hypocrisy to a people that go around talking about they protect children. And I don't care how many times you try to flash your children in front of me to say, well, I'm a good parent. I do right by children. Well, that's you and that's me, but that's not substantial. That's not going to be sufficient. That's not going to be sufficient to stop the wrath of God for coming on a community that is now killing their children on an every week basis. Mass shootings are now starting to happen every 5 days now. You get a mass shooting every 5 days now. You notice that? See, a lot of you are not able to keep up. Simply, you're not. It's all you're all scrambled brain to all of this stuff that's happening. A lot of you are. You think you know what's going on, but if you knew what was going on, you would have the solutions, like I do. See, so you're scrambled brain. You can't even tell me what is going on out here. I can tell you exactly, for the most part, what's going on. COVID-19 is a judgment, a plague from God. It's a plague from God because of gang stalkers and people that played with this society as their playground. They played war games and psychological war games. It wasn't me. I didn't curse you to get COVID-19. What happened was your society got out of control here in America because I believe COVID-19 was for America. Everyone else just had to suffer. That's the best way I put it. COVID-19 was for America, and everyone else had to suffer because of something that had to happen to America. Again, COVID-19 is for America, and everyone else had to suffer because of what America brought on themselves. That's what it is. It's a plague from God. Why it ain't leaving? Can you explain why it ain't going away? Can you explain, even though they got all these vaccinations, why you got monkeypox now? Can you explain to me now, all in the same time frame, not years apart, not years apart. It's not years apart. You have monkeypox, COVID-19, mass shootings, all concentrate in one concentrate season in the country. Explain to me why it's all concentrate in the same time frame. You can't explain it, can you? That is called. Those are judgments and plagues that has come upon your country for its evil that it's been doing. Because how you know is because it's not spread out. So whatever they were doing, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, it was whatever they was doing it all at the same time. You see where I'm going with this? So it came back just like if you planted a whole bunch of seeds at one time, it all came up together. It all came up together, meaning to me, as a spiritual person with spiritual insight, is that it means because it all happened in one concentrate time, that they were doing concentrate evil some time back before this happened. They were doing something, a lot of evil at one time. For you to be suffering with a high level of concentrate evil like this at one time, that means they were all doing something evil right before all of this happened. Otherwise, you would have had COVID-19 maybe right like at one place, and then a couple years later, maybe another couple strains or something. You wouldn't have had as many deaths or something like that, maybe. Then you would have had monkeypox on down the road. Then you would have had maybe 3 years. Then you might would have had mass shootings and people killing their kids maybe 6 or 7 years down the road. But now you have all of this all at one time. I know you thought you knew what was going on. Now you know what's going on. Excuse me. You have here the flowers of death from the seeds of evil that these people sowed years ago. But they were doing it all at one time. They were doing a lot of evil at one time. And they're still doing it. They're still doing evil, thinking it's fun and it's a game, and thinking people like me are going to die, and there's no signs of us dying. There's no signs of us giving up. There's no signs of us getting depressed or suicidal. There's no signs of us becoming impure and becoming pedophiles like you. We're still not pedophiles, and you still are. You got 44 states marrying children. You're pedophiles by definition. Donald Trump just passed a law that allowed adults to marry children at any age. You pedophiles. I go that far to tell you you're pedophiles by telling you your laws, bringing up the laws to show you you're pedophiles. Not even to mention that you're doing. That campaign is finished. Now, I am going to enter into now showing you the evils that you brought on yourself, and this terrible event is going to be the vengeance of the Lord on you for all the evil you're doing. Because see, God watched you during COVID time, and you didn't change your heart. You didn't change your wicked ways. You kept gang stalking. You kept playing games. And now you've become obsessed with people like me. You've become obsessed with people you don't know because you have an image in your mind of what you think you're doing, and that's not what's going on. You have these images that you're obsessed with that are not attached to reality. So you're obsessed, and now you have to be killed like a crazy, obsessed woman or man. You as a community that do the gang stalking, you have entered into severe obsession. And because of this, you've caused destruction on your whole environment. And now there's coming a terrible event upon you that you would not be able to get away from. You would not, I promise you, you would not be interested in gang stalking when this happens. You would not be interested in anyone that you have been obsessing over. You would no longer be interested in me. I promise you that. You will be terribly, utterly, very afraid. And many of you will give up and will kill yourself. Many of you will kill yourself because it's going to be too overwhelming. And it's going to be quicker than you think. If you think it's going to take years and years, nope. Nope. It's not going to take years and years. It's not going to take long. God wouldn't give it to